Rock and roll. All right, I'll get the word out here.
Sure. So tonight it's Eric and myself, Cola. Dave is.
Yep, I'm up on the video screen. Yep.
So is Dave in the hospital right now, or is that where he's at?
Nobody. See, he never knows because just to give a little background, our boy Dave has like the legs of he has the worst legs on the planet, and he's got a bum knee that is due for a replacement, and he's on a waiting list, and he never knows. He could literally get a call tomorrow and say, "Hey, by the way, you're getting your slot is up. It's time for you to get a new knee." He never knows. So he was seeming to indicate that he thought he might actually be on the list here soon to get something. So we don't know. He said he was going to try to be here tonight. Um, and I haven't heard from him otherwise. I might shoot him a little message real quick and just say, "Hey, what's up?" Um,
So he needs like a donor knee or something silly like that.
I've been an advocate for just amputation. I tell them I just chop the damn thing off, but because it's by the time this guy's going to be mostly like he's already you guys most of anybody who's followed the project along has seen also that he's also got he had carpal tunnel surgery. So the guy really is going to be, by all that's said and done, it's going to be like a walking Frankenstein with part machine, part man. He really is going to be like the Terminator. After it's all is said and done, he's going to be mostly metal, I think. But all right, so let me edit the broadcast here. Twitch Tuesday. Today is the 14th. Okay.
Sure is. Yeah. I know that because tomorrow I'm going to a Faith No More concert. Do you ever listen to them?
For real,
Yeah.
dude? Yeah, back like 20 years ago.
Yeah. I know, right? They're back together. They're touring again, and I'm gonna be
Is it the
there.
original members?
To my knowledge, it is. Yeah. Well, not the well. I mean, it's the Mike Patton and Forward members. So I don't know. The members everybody that really wants to
Okay. Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Most. I'm with you.
Yeah. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Pretty stoked for that.
Hey, if you think about it and you're feeling clever, do you want to throw a little title overlay around above my screen to say that I'm Eric the Web Nerd and you're I don't want to look like I'm the one animating right now
Uh,
or doing all the art stuff.
um, sure. It's,
Only when you're bored.
oh, I'll have to. Well, I guess I can do that now.
Sorry, I'm being neglectful. Chat. I am trying to get the word out that we're broadcasting. So hang tight. Let's just do that. I'm feeling. Um, hate Facebook so much. So
Whoa.
what have you been up to, my man?
Um. Well, I
So Faith No More, huh? So who's all going?
just me and some buddies. Uh, darn it. Well, it's pretty
Did
big.
they ever have like? Because I think they had like two songs that made the radio, and then beyond that, I think they kind of fell off the planet. But I could be
Yeah,
wrong
they
about
kind
that. I
of
guess.
got. I don't know what you'd call it. Like, they started sort of evolving into their own thing, and it's hard to throw them into a genre. Because they kind of had a
Yeah,
a,
I
a
always liked
mix
them.
of
I always thought
screaming.
the songs that they had were fun.
Yeah, and the other thing is like after their album with Epic and those kind of songs, their style changed pretty drastically. So they never really got back to that alternative funk, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but
I
that's how I
would
would
call them
describe it.
funk, but that's
Yeah, it's like you know how Rage Against the Machine is kind of funky. I put them up
Yes.
there with them with those guys, kind of. Is like a
Oh shit! Yeah, just got a note on chat. He said, "Don't expect too many people to be here. Everybody is too busy playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC."
oh, it came out today. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I heard 82 gig of data is what I heard. I
Is
don't think
that
it's
it?
that much,
Jesus.
but that somebody said I saw a graph online that showed like the growth of I don't want to call it bloat. That's not fair. But yeah, they said that that this grand I think that it was between 60 or 80 gig. Um, and it's one of those yeah just just sit back and like everybody's experiencing the debut of the game, downloading the game. Like that's their whole night. For those of us
Oh
that don't
yeah.
have like hot internet connections,
So their bandwidth, they don't
which
even have the
guilty.
bandwidth to do anything else either. Steam is a monster, man. It's if I log on to
It
Steam, I can't do
yeah.
anything else. But I mean, I'm sure there's people out there with like mega these insane high speed internet
I was gonna ping
shit.
you and find out what your bandwidth is up and down because you're able to stream this stuff and I mine just chokes like crazy. Um, and it was just absolutely a big pile of no fun trying to stream that last time.
Oh, here comes a crash. Here comes a sucks. Hope it doesn't crash.
Feel it coming on?
Well, I'm ahead of the stream, so I know it's
Yeah,
gonna
because the
happen.
stream just like crapped out. Looks like.
Yeah. You can see my cursor and you typing away. Yeah.
I guess I should probably be not be a jerk and actually like face the camera instead of typing on my other machine. I'm going to type on this one. Ugh.
So you got the word out basically?
Yeah,
Who's in the chat now? Do we have people in
I
the
just
chat?
posted to I just posted to Facebook and Twitter, and we'll see here if we get some folks.
I thought there was some good
We had a
questions
couple
last
of
time.
I'm going to call it Thesa MYG. Oh, for crying out loud! All right, the chat folks are being helpful. I got to remember not to like pick my nose now that I'm on camera. It's going to happen. I'm going to do something embarrassing and then they're going to make fun of me, but that's all right. Yeah, dude, I actually wonder, it almost feels like Twitch is a little slow tonight. I wonder if everybody's streaming. I didn't even look at like the main channels to see how many people are streaming Grand Theft Auto 5. All right. Yeah, down here in the States, tomorrow's tax day, so that's how I know it's April 14th.
Oh
April
shit.
15th is that's the day of doom.
So
That one
so
makes you
you're
hurt.
it's like you're paying interest if you owe and you haven't done your taxes by tomorrow?
Kinda. It's a little screwy because we have taxes that come out of our paycheck, and then
Yeah.
we have to do a big hullabaloo on April 15th or by April 15th that just kind of confirms everything. And then if we are due a refund, like we paid too much in, me being a sole proprietor, I have to put in like money along the way because I don't have a traditional paycheck.
Yeah.
And so I have to pay them like once a quarter, which can get a little hurt. Um, but
You're not
is
able
our
to write
stream
off a
even up
lot.
here? I am actually able to write off a bit. Nothing, not I give to Caesar what is Caesar's. I don't try to cheat anybody. But you're allowed to do certain stuff. I mean, if I got business expenses or if I go buy office supplies and all that stuff, that all is legit. But yeah, it's all right. I'm closing this out. So what are you working on right now?
Well, I'm trying to make the boots, but I have a feeling that the scale of my model is large. Is like larger than you'd want. Because I've kind of been, I haven't been modeling characters too much lately, right? I've been kind of doing the animation stuff.
Right.
So I'm kind of forgetting what my scale settings are, and so if like the scale of your model, changes the values you put into the scene, right? So right now what I'm doing is I'm using a function called Dynamesh, and what it does is like it basically it changes the flow of the topology of your mesh because it's just a wireframe, right? What I'm sculpting on, so it optimizes it for sculpting in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But if your mesh is really large, it's like it thinks it's like it doesn't know whether, because it's all arbitrary. It doesn't know whether you're modeling a hot dog or a cathedral, right? And if your model is large, which ours happens to be because of the scale of our models is actually it's lined up with the scale of Uprising, the old gen stuff. Back when we planned on reusing some of those animations, but then decided that was kind of a fruitless endeavor later. So anyway, the scale still matches Uprising, but just as the way the cookie crumbled, that scale happens to be pretty large in ZBrush. So now, my ZBrush
Hey, not
is
to
treating
interrupt you,
my
but it looks
character.
like our video has gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Do you want us to check to see if you got anything else uploading or downloading?
Oh, is it
Yeah.
the frame rate?
Well, it's gone. The video is gone. I can't tell if our audio is still up or not, but
Hmm. Do
loading
I
video.
have?
Everything fun going on in the background?
Oh, I've got the chat open, but I'm not seeing video on Twitch. Maybe I should just close the Twitch.
Yeah, why don't you close your, just so that you don't have that extra stream coming down?
Hmm.
Because your bandwidth may be better than mine, but it may not be awesome either. We need, sounds like Mike's got I was going to say Mike's got a fat pipe, but that's going to get me all kinds of trouble too. So,
Yeah, it's too. I wish I could. I wish I could have the chat going on the side while I'm doing this without having to
see,
stream the
I'm
whole
going to dig
thing.
into that. I wonder if there's a way to do that where you can block video here.
Yeah. See, so it made. So I just wanted some boots, and it made it made them like 4 million polygons. It's like it's not what I
Oh,
need.
right.
So
Okay, I see. Okay, video's back. It looks like at least a little bit.
it may
Uh,
also be this computation I'm doing. You know.
well, I was going to say it could be your system. You still there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, yeah, we got a good frozen action going on here. It's why don't you check the open broadcast and see if you're dropping frames or anything?
Um.
I got to tell you, I said it could also be Twitch just getting annihilated tonight if there's a new game.
It may have something to do with this tool I'm using. It might be just like wrecking my PC, right? I'm gonna use it one
Well, and
time.
it could also be my browser is sucking.
All right. It's as good as it's gonna get. I gotta turn that setting all the way down as low as it goes.
For which one?
Um, to do that mesh optimization stuff I was talking to you about.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So he's got like a sock on now, because it basically follows the foot.
Yeah, I noticed that. I thought that was pretty funny.
I could just export this, and we got a tube sock in the Creator Wrestler, right? That'll be the easiest thing to make.
Sure, some Pro Wrestling X 2.0 now with tube socks.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud! I can't even get to the Twitch website right now.
Oh, you're not on, hey?
I am trying to refresh, and I think their CDN, their Content Delivery Network, is getting annihilated right now because I can't even ping that thing. I'm willing to bet that our friends at Twitch might be experiencing heavier traffic volume than normal, just because of, like I said, they've got a new game going on tonight. If I can load up chat, like I said, I can't even get chat loaded right now.
Oh, really?
Okay, there we go. Now it's stuff. There we go. Because I didn't even think, I said I forgot that. Now you got to get those like high socks with like the stripes. That's what I'm talking about.
Boots are hard, man. Like they they gotta conform to the foot, but and you like cover the foot, but also not be too bulky, because it's really easy to get bulky looking boots, and that because you want them to crash or anything. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like some people are. Okay, so we got some people. I'm chat is keeping us updated. Yeah, for the people that are either new or didn't join us last time, I think I see a lot of familiar faces. But we've got what our man Alex is working on here is a character he started last week. Did we name him?
Yeah, this
Is
is
his other name?
this is Grimhold. Yeah, he was
Grimhold, right?
released.
Okay.
He was released months ago. He was released on 666 newsletter 666. So
That's right. That's right.
the keeners should know what's going on here. All 5 of them.
Yeah, and we started that kind of last week as kind of a way to kind of show everybody what all goes into creating one of these characters, and so it was kind of cool to like watch it from scratch. And he got to a base last week, and then so now he's kind of working on kind of some more of the details. But
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about.
for those that are joining us, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying we were talking about adding new characters and stuff, and I like the idea of plucking another character from like the old lore, I guess, for whoever comes
Absolutely.
next. What was I gonna say? Just
Yeah, we've got anybody who
you-
bought Uprising or has been following the project for a while. We've got a lot of characters that kind of in the queue, and American Grasshopper, not American Grasshopper, Tyrador was rebooted from Uprising, and so we've got a whole other slew of people we can turn to, a whole other bunch of characters that we can kind of reboot and refresh, and I can't wait to see it, to be honest with you.
And I swear I have like all of our characters, they have masks right now. I haven't been avoiding Dave. No one here's been really avoiding faces or anything. I think we all just kind of like just the way it turned out. We all had just designs in mind that we liked that happened to have masks. So I think I wouldn't mind to do next time to do a character who has like a face. Because actually,
Well,
Tyrador,
and yeah,
the characters we
that
have
was
now
always
have
kind of a
their own
design
faces.
decision early. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not as if
yeah,
they're
because that was
sharing
always kind of a
anything.
design decision.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like even the masked
because we
characters I do make. I want to like I want them to have faces underneath that, to populate the creator wrestler in the future, right? So
well, and masks can be ripped off. I mean,
yeah,
these are things that can be fun things, down the road, and mask versus mask, or I mean, there's things that could be done along those lines, and if you've got an actual face under there, it's not just a series of pixels. Absolutely, I know that was always something that was because I remember early on in the process, we had lots of different styles of faces. Just from you've seen the evolution of that character Dane over the course of 10 years, literally, and how things are looking so much more realistic now. Before, as we had to kind of make some artistic decisions, and now we're going to more of a realism look. So I'm definitely all over the new. I'd love to see a new Dane personally. I think that's he's another one that's got serious roots in the project.
yeah, it's the sort of the like the more realistic anatomy kind of stuff is just like kind of my jam, So all the
Mhm.
developers like Dave Horn are kind of they're just playing to the strengths of the team they have, right? And so honestly, I think it's
Well, that's what you got to do. Is you go to war with the soldiers you got, and you can play to their strengths and advantages. And I said our art game has been obviously been up dramatically in the last couple of years here, and so it's nice to see. Um, yeah, chat's good here. They're talking about all the stuff that they all have ideas, and it's like, yeah, this is so cool because anybody who's a wrestling gamer, they all dream the. Oh, there's a good question. I'm Team No Mercy. We had a question from good name, Luke E. Coronet. Uh, we've got No Mercy, King of Coliseum 2, or Fire Pro Z, and I am Team No Mercy, as most of the people are in the crew are. Um, I am. I have never, and I have to. Terrible confession is I am awful at Fire Pro. I have never been able to master that. Dave's pretty good, but the damn grappling engine, I can never get the timing right.
yeah, man, it's
So I'm Team No Mercy for sure.
yeah, I am as well. I what I like about Fire Pro is at least a playable. It's a balanced game, so you put two people in against each other, and you the better guy is gonna win. It's and it's not like like you're not getting if you want to be able to do your finisher, you can. Whereas in like SmackDown games, it's like it was so easy when you had a finisher. Say you're Jeff Hardy, right? It's like the the ramp of difficulty when countering finishers that were like aerial top rope moves. It was so easy to do. Like when I'd play with my friends who, we're all decent at it. If you picked anybody who was, a top rope guy, it's like good luck, man. Good luck hitting that, because it's just so easy to counter, to see it coming, because you could counter any finisher just by like jam, like
I
sort of
I
on a
gotta tell
timing
you,
deal.
yeah, I love the look of Fire Pro. I am a huge old school 8-bit guy, and I
Yeah,
love pixels. And so I love the look of Fire Pro. I love the animation style. I love everything, the customization, the stats. I love all that stuff. I could just never grapple. I could never get the timing. I could never. I would get
yeah.
annihilated by the computer in
Well,
like
it's different, slightly
30
different in each
seconds and
game
be over.
too. Like it's like yeah. I don't know which one you were playing, but
I only played kind of the one that was on Dreamcast.
yeah, that one was awesome.
I have a I did get a Dreamcast, and then acquired some of those other classic wrestling games, with the full blown mod disc and all that kind of stuff, and it was staggering. I mean, it was just so amazing that Fire Pro. Because I mean, there was no English mod. It wasn't like a mod that I could download and then to my computer. Everything was Japanese, and I couldn't figure out what the hell to do. It took me like an hour just to start a match.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
King
the
of Colosseum,
customization was
I do
awesome.
not have enough, time into that one.
Me either.
I love the look of it. It's a beautiful game.
Yeah, I never did.
It was Fire Pro D. Yeah.
There was a point where I kind of lost faith in wrestling games, and I just was like, I just stopped playing them.
Well, and some of these things, like to me, I have never been able to play wrestling games by myself. Like that's a thing that
Yeah.
like me and my brother would do, and it's more fun. It's just more fun to play those things with more people. And if you move away or you don't have any friends that play those kind of games, it's hard to just like play them by yourself, I think.
Definitely. Yeah, it's tough, man. Between Fire Pro and No Mercy, like they kind of have pros and cons. Like it's like we were talking about last week. Like No Mercy's finisher thing, how it is pretty easy to cheese and run away when the guy has his finisher. But on the other hand, when in Fire Pro, once you get the finisher, it's like there's nothing to stop you from just repeatedly doing it. Like there's no gate there that like once you get your strong moves, there's no reason to do your weak moves anymore, and there's no reason once you can do your finisher, there's no reason to really do anything but your finisher. So it's kind of weird. It kind of breaks down towards the end of the game. Is like you kind of want to design something that feels like it's like it stays true to how like a match you'd watch on TV would play out, right? I think that's kind of the goal, right?
Well, they always said that Fire Pro was more, I don't call it a sim, but that was always kind of like you felt like you were watching a real wrestling match in terms of kind of the back and forth, the timing, the stats, and some of that stuff. And then sometimes you could pull off a quick hit, like a quick critical or something. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I said I love and just all the different match options is what I'm fascinated with. Is like
Yeah,
No
that's
Mercy.
cool.
I love No Mercy, but you don't have the exploding barbed wire steel cage in No Mercy. You've got the light tubes, you've got the hardcore stuff, and then I got to tell you the other thing that I really love, and this sounds so dumb. I still want to fight for referees in our game. I love the fact that refs are in there. I
Dude,
think that's
yeah.
awesome.
And I love that they have different behaviors too. Like if you get the one guy,
And so I'd love
he's
to
gonna
get there.
count
I told Dave
faster.
if I was ever going to be a playable character in this game, I want to be a ref. I don't want to be Glass Joe. I don't want to be like a wrestler. I just want to be a referee.
I always thought ECW should have played that up because they had no rules, right? So it was like it would have been cool if you had one referee who was a stickler for the rules, and you had other referees who would just let anything go, right? Like even I think in TV,
Well, or
you
some
could
that might
kinda-
have like, some that might have like variable count. Like their 1, 2, 3 wouldn't always be exact 1, 2, 3. So you have different personalities or,
1,
or
2,
something
4.
like that, or maybe even referees that get, yeah. Or I want the Bundy count. I want to be able to like, get a 5 count.
like increase the
Inca
count.
Rabbit. No, we're just dreaming at this point.
No,
I'm dreaming at this point about getting referees. We have to get them grappling first.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it is.
Maybe someday, but
Anything we talk about is kind of theory crafting until we get to the point in development where you can really stress test your design, right? Like everywhere I've worked, the design idea is great and it's good to have down on paper, but if you're not willing to change that after you've play tested, then you're in for trouble, man.
yeah. Well, and it's fun, like I said, just having people in the chat that kind of understand, the dreaming, and that's the fun about this part is that, that for those who don't know the history of the project, I mean the guy who started this thing. I mean, everybody involved is like a wrestling gamer. We're not like a video game company. We're just a bunch of guys who really, really like wrestling games. And, Alex is in the industry. He's obviously, you can see his work in action here, but I am not. I am a web developer by trade. And Dave, as a jazz studies major, he's the guy who started this whole thing. And we're just fans of the genre. And we're at a time in history right now in terms of video game development that the barriers to entry to actually making your own video game has dropped even in the last 5, 6, 7 years, and so that schlubs like me can it's at least feasible to work on a wrestling game.
Yeah, it's still tough to come from outside the industry and hop into indie development. So that Dave is
as
ambitious
I'm
for that.
figuring out myself.
But Dave is I think he's a really great development director. I've worked with a few.
Well, he's made every mistake known to man. I mean, that's how you start developing those skills. Is the only way you do it is just by doing things bad, and then hey, that's how we all learn.
Mm-hmm.
You screw up, and then you don't do the same thing twice, and there you go. So
yeah, he shares a lot of traits with some like my favorite development directors that I've had in the past for sure. So even if the project is something you want to work on, it's if you have the wrong guy, if you're working with the wrong people, it's just not worth it. So
yeah, well, those are hard skills to learn. As anybody who's been following this project for a while, I mean, these are not easy things to just let's pick up and try to figure out how to get funding for a game company. And we've all been doing this for quite some time, back before there was such a thing as social networks, and back before there was such a thing as Kickstarter and all these fun things that you just try to make it do. Jake Hags, I have played Giant Graham. That was another one that was a beautiful game, but I couldn't figure it out because it was a lot of it was in Japanese, and I just
so you got Eric is like
too lazy to look on any tutorials.
You're the most casual gamer, I would say, of the bunch, eh?
Probably, well, other than somebody like Mike who doesn't play the games at all. Yeah, because my experience is limited to the American games. I played all the American ones. I just was never. I wasn't fortunate enough to have like a Dreamcast or get any of those Japanese imports or anything like that.
Yeah, I only imported
but I played
those recently.
Yep.
I'm
also older than all y'all, or except for Dave. Dave's a little bit older.
Yeah.
But because I played WrestleFest in the arcade. I played one called son of a gun. Matt Mania was an arcade game that I played. And then I played NES Pro Wrestling, WCW, the quote unquote game that was WrestleMania for the Nintendo Entertainment System, which was my first massive disappointment in getting hyped up for a game and then seeing what the game actually was and going, oh, this is really bad.
Which game was that?
The WrestleMania for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, okay.
They had a huge, Nintendo Power was a magazine that got shipped to, shipped all the Nintendo people who bought the original Nintendo, and then they sold subscriptions. And they had for 2 or 3 months, everybody was hyping up. They would have Hulk Hogan and all these things that WrestleMania was coming to the Nintendo. And then the game itself was awful. It was really bad.
Yeah, I don't think I played.
I think if you've ever seen, there's a web series called Joe Gagne's
the Fun Time Arcade
wrestling
show?
Videos, where he goes and review. Yes, Fun Time Arcade. He's covered pretty much every wrestling game known to man than something I'd never even heard of, and he did a review, I believe, of WrestleMania, and that was fun. I mean, they do a really, really good job. I'll see if I can find it. A link to that. I can post it in chat at some point.
Yeah, that channel's it's pretty funny. They do a good job, and they're very.
Hey, has anybody? I'll ask chat. Yeah. I'll ask Chad if anybody's played the new WWF game, that the one they made for the Mac, the one that was a Mortal Kombat clone, where all the guys are like, they have finishers and stuff. Have you played that one, Alex?
No, I think I know what you're talking about though.
It's called like Resurrection or something. I don't know exactly what it's called, but they basically just Mortal Kombatized all the WWE wrestlers,
Yeah.
and it's really over the top, and it's you know,
Man, I enjoyed WrestleMania the arcade game, even though that's like super arcadey. But I thought that was a.
which
I
one
mean,
was our WrestleMania the arcade game?
that's the one where like it was it was developed by Midway. Kind of it had the same way as Mortal Kombat, where instead of art, there's like rendered photos of the characters, right? So they build all the
Right.
yeah, it looks very real, for the Super Nintendo. And Undertaker shoots like ghouls and slams people in the head with tombstones and stuff.
Oh, right. That's the one. It was more of a fighting game, wasn't it? Wasn't it
Yeah,
more like a
it was more of
side,
a
like it was a
traditional
side
fighting
perspective,
game.
and it was
Yeah, when
yeah, because I remember yeah,
it was cool. Yeah, I thought there was some really cool mechanics in that, and
because I
I
remember
don't know.
Bret
The
Hart played
animation
that
is
in
really good.
Wrestling with Shadows.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah, because he was playing himself as a character. He was playing Undertaker or something, and they were cutting into that as a I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, because I remember him playing that one.
Yeah.
Um,
That one was good, especially if you could get played in the
yeah,
arcade,
chat. Yeah, go ahead.
because there was extra
Yeah,
characters and
because I
shit.
remember I was still I played WrestleFest like crazy. That was one that would be just a quarter
That one
monster
was good too.
because
Yeah.
I would always get to the World Road Warriors and they'd always kill me, which is that's fair. I can respect that, but I always played as Jake the Snake and Earthquake. Um, those are my two guys. I love Jake's DDT and I love the Earthquake Splash. That vertical sit down splash was awesome. So you're actually giving him like the souls have depth on him, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of just.
Underneath.
It's yeah. I don't know. You work on stuff that's never going to be seen, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't take too much long to do that kind of thing, and like I don't know. I want like
Yeah, if
everything.
anybody in chat has questions on how this stuff works, fire them away and I'll make sure Alex sees it here.
Hmm. The boots I'm going for are like that they're nowhere near done yet, but um, do you? There's a guy named Pitbull number two from
Yes.
ECW.
ECW.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and recreate those. It's the silliest name in the world. I remember when I was a kid and I watched that. I was like, where's number one? Why is he the only one? Because the other guy, I guess, got injured and he was just gone. So there was just
I
like
don't know the
number two.
backstory on that one. I'm sure it's out there.
I,
You may want to give for any newbies in the chat kind of like a backstory and what your vision was for Grimhold in the first place, like what kind of a wrestler he is, size wise, all that kind of fun stuff.
okay, so he's yeah he. I really wanted to tackle the height differential stuff and kind of figure that out early on. So yeah, I wanted to, and the body types. There's lots of stuff. There's lots of different like challenges that we're gonna have to tackle eventually. And I think if when we have a limited roster to to have that height difference is going to really help make it feel like it has more depth than it does. Like if we get to the point where we have like sort of like Mortal Kombat was when it started, where you only had like 6 or 8 characters at first, right? I want there to be some variety there, and also like the more variety in character and strength types we have, then the more we can kind of like flex our game balancing chops early on, so we can get into the speed versus power stuff and all that earlier. We'll be ready for it. and move variety as well. Like there's only you'd be surprised because of the because Dave he always wanted Uprising to have that side grapple, right? Which I think is a cool idea. It adds a few more grapple slots and kind of gives arm ringers a purpose. So, but what it does is it, like, while we're designing just the grapple moves right now, there's a lot of moves I'm not going to animate because I'm saving them for that position too, right? So when you have two guys with a similar build and kind of a style and well, not style, but I don't know, I guess build and like strength and stuff, it's like it's easy to run out of moves is what I'm getting at, to like just design and animate. So
Well, and if you've got certain moves, I mean, like I said, somebody who's a power guy like Grimhold,
yeah,
a really deep power bomb is so much more believable out of a monster with a big physique than it is out of a 220-pound guy who's maybe more speed focused.
Now we can animate those, and we're not forcing it into these guys into their movesets, right? Because maybe they would.
Well, even just like I said, yeah.
But I can do like the
but the
the
smaller guys do the power bomb, but it's more like a speed, like it's a speed.
Yeah, they do like
drop as opposed to like this view. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, totally. More like the tiger bombs, like the Japanese ones, not like the big like Undertaker ones.
Right. Well, I mean, you said you look at like even just the difference between like. Like when like an Ultimo Dragon or something does like a sit out power bomb that's like a pinning combination, or even like a lot of the Japanese where it's like it's like the power bomb is not like this death drop, but it's really just a matter of like trying to get the guy's shoulders to the mat quickly and put him in a pinning position.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Whereas somebody like a Sid Vicious or a Vader, like they drop them on the top of their shoulders and just about kill the guy. They're two completely different types of power bombs.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Diesel's, where his was kind of a deep drop, where he wasn't throwing the guy down like Sid was, but his was you get that extra impact because he's coming down from 7 feet.
Yeah, exactly. He just like would lift people up, 7 feet in the air, and they'd be like, "Okay, see ya."
Just drop?
And just walk away and let them drop, right? So it'll be cool to like capture some of those nuances too, right? Just
well, and that said, you have to have the character sets to build that stuff up. And we've always, I mean, I've mentioned this before, in that I always I'm obsessed with like the different styles, like the different extremes, like looking at somebody like a Rey Mysterio versus like a giant, like the Big Show, where just like the interesting things that can happen when you have two polar opposites in a match. And so I think building out more of these polar opposites is going to be really, really fun.
Yeah, the David and Goliath stuff. It's always cool. So it'd be cool to have that, offer that, and also offer some gameplay. You're not just a big guy with big moves, but maybe you're faster.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your spirit meter is a little slower or something like that. If we decide to do that, I'm not sure where Dave stands on that. Sometimes I don't know.
Well, because I said I want to be able to have my 650-pound guy be able to come off the top rope with the corkscrew senton that's always, because that's pretty much the way that I play No Mercy is I just spam top rope move. That is pretty much my offense. That and like the nut shot after getting knocked down. Those are pretty much my two offensive moves in No Mercy. So
The nut shot. Yeah.
we have to make sure that there's like maybe a realism mode, and then hey, anything goes, and my 7'5", 650-pound guy doing the triple corkscrew or something.
Yeah. I think it would be cool for if somebody's like not super skilled. I think it'd be cool if like the quick strikes had a little bit more like varied timing, so that it's a little harder for people to, because it sucks when you're against somebody when you suck, and you're against somebody who's really good at countering, right? So everything you do is like being countered. It'd be cool if you could at least get some, if you could like break up the timing of your quick strikes or something. Maybe then you could like.
Well, I said this is all the theory of all this stuff. I said that's
right.
I said it sounds like we have a lot of new people in the chat that have never heard of the project before, and I would encourage everybody who is new to hit up ProWrestlingX.com, at ProWrestlingX on Twitter, Facebook.com/ProWrestlingX. We've got archives of all of our old newsletters. This project has been going on for quite some time, and the lead guy was a guy named Dave, and he started this thing literally on a dare in an internet forum, and didn't know a thing about starting, how to do video games or how to start a company, anything like that. And so he's built it from nothing to the point where we're now on Steam Early Access. And we're in mid-development right now on our way to kind of our 1.0 version that was funded on Kickstarter a little around this time last year. And so we've got a product out on Steam right now, and we're currently in development trying to get the next update out. And it's been slow going because we've got a developer that's good, but when good people... when the word gets out, their demand goes very, very high. So sometimes it's kind of hard. He's got a full-time gig that literally sends him all over the globe, and so kind of progress has stalled a little bit on the dev side. So we're trying to show you guys now art progress and show you that things are still working. We're still working on this stuff behind the scenes. It's just it's a little quiet at times.
Yeah,
so.
A problem as well was that I started a little before Mike, so we kind of had we had a lot of art, and then we were without a programmer for like a little while there, like just prior to the Kickstarter. So Mike is in the situation where there's a big backlog of art that he has to wire up, right? So he's got a lot on his plate.
Well, and then and then there's like I said, there's always, when you're first kind of developing a game, you've got to solve a lot of problems, and that involves a lot of cooperation between the art and the programming team. And some of the stuff that Alex would do, like Mike could use it, but it would be helpful if he had other tips and tricks and techniques and all that stuff. So just even figuring out the workflow. We're trying to kind of invent a new genre of game. You can go and download first-person shooter templates and role-playing game templates and reskin them, and then you've got a game. Whereas hand-to-hand combat is an entirely different creature and an entirely different monster.
Especially in a 3D
we're having to
environment.
kind of invent everything along the way.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's
That's
templates
exactly
for
right.
2D, like Street Fighter style fighting games, but there's
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of people putting time into 3D fighting games right now. And when I say, I mean because the way game development works right now is you can buy and sell code and stuff to to help you along, so that you don't always have to reinvent the wheel for everything. Unfortunately, the more I guess obscure your genre, then the more you do have to reinvent the wheel. Which is kind of where we're at.
Which is cool. I mean, and we're figuring out it out along the way here, and but that's the beauty of this stuff is and that's another part of the development cycle that is never so much fun, is that sometimes you have to. You said when you're trying to figure this stuff out, sometimes you guess wrong, and um, the best laid plans don't always quite work themselves out. So you have to kind of reinvent the wheel on some of this stuff. That's kind of why our grappling right now is kind of in that state right now, where we had one approach, and we're pretty sure that it wasn't going to be the one. But
the thing is, it was an oversimplified approach, right? Like the idea was to, get grappling in, I think, and in a simple form and test it out. But yeah, we need to do. I think we need the collision stuff that we're using with the striking, which is what Mike kind of said last week too. So yeah, grappling's its own thing, man. Its own beast.
Well, and these are not things that are, and we've worked with a number of developers over the years, and it's always fun to kind of see their eyes glaze over, even like some really good devs that these are hard problems to solve, and they're not problems that a lot of people are asked to be used to being to solve. So, but yeah, if you're interested in the history of the project, that's my initial pimp. We've got the links down below in the profile, and come hop aboard the crazy train. There's a lot of us that have been following this for quite some time, and it's slow, but we're all insane, and we seem to we're never going to quit. So, oh gosh. Luke, with the worst wrestling game you guys have ever played. Good Lord, we could be here all night. Dave would be more qualified to answer that because he's played them all.
Yeah.
See, for me, I always like rent before I buy, or I just like, hey, if it sounds like it's gonna suck, I won't even play it. But he bought them all, and I think he'll be on board with like Backstage Assault as being one of the worst ones.
I was just thinking about that one. Yeah, I don't like that one. But yeah,
for me, I really go back. I kind of stopped playing wrestling games at like No Mercy for the most part. I mean, I would pick up every once in a while some of the new stuff, but I just really liked the old games so much that I would just never stop playing them. And so for me, the worst one was that original WrestleMania for the Nintendo Entertainment System. That one was the worst.
Yeah, those ones were pretty brutal. Those old NES ones, I guess.
Well, like I said, pro wrestling was wonderful. That game I could still play and have fun with that one. They had fun characters and the good mechanics and all that stuff. And yeah, it was basic, but Simpsons on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah,
that doesn't count.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Backstage Assault and shit. Those ones, it's like.
Yep.
Too wacky. Too wacky, and no, like, I don't know. I
thought the ECW game was really bad.
Yeah, that Acclaim engine wasn't good. It was like...
Yeah, I never liked that one at all. We tried, and we couldn't get anything to work. I always hated the games in which you had to, like, where they made it more like Mortal Kombat, where you had...
yeah.
Oh, I just got a pop-up message from Dave. Yep.
What I don't like about Mortal Kombat games and Street Fighter games is that when you're new to them and you're playing with your buddies, you're like pausing the game every 5 seconds to like figure out how to do something,
That's right. Like, okay, how do we actually do like a strong grapple?
Yeah.
I remember there was like finishers or something. We couldn't figure out how to do any like feature move in ECW. I could figure out how to punch and kick, but doing anything beyond that was ridiculous. We got a user named Fawful that has brought up WWF Betrayal on the Game Boy Color.
Oh God, yeah.
I never played that one.
I don't know if I played that one specifically, but I don't think I've ever played a good Game Boy one. Except for like a Fire Pro Game Boy one. Now I'm just recalling.
Got their vote for WrestleMania the arcade game.
No, I love that one. even though it is Mortal Kombat-y. I guess we were just complaining about that, but it's
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I liked it because the animation was well done and well timed, well posed, and
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say the Nitro, those like Nitro Thunder games, on like PlayStation that had like
Dude, I'm gonna have to get a copy of this Betrayal. Fawful in the chat is describing this. He said Betrayal was the side-scrolling beat 'em up where you rescue Stephanie McMahon.
it's like where's the motivation
Outstanding.
instantly like your motivation's instantly gone. It's like who would rescue
Oh, we've
Stephanie?
got to vote for Crush Hour. See, Dave needs to be in this discussion right now because he's played them all, gang.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's played
But
those
Betrayal, I don't know if I've ever even heard of that one. That's outstanding. No, I've come around on Stephanie. She has been killing it the last year. It's like she's the top heel in the business right now.
Well, I know, right? Yeah, that's why she's good at it. She's so unlikable.
So did you finish watching WrestleMania?
I finally did. Yeah, I watched it like here and there over like a week or so, and I haven't watched like a pay-per-view in a really long time. But it was good. It was like if you are going to watch one in a year, like that was a good one to watch, I think.
Dude, I thought that was the perfect pay-per-view. I thought it was perfect top to bottom. I think it's probably my favorite Mania. I was really happy coming out of that because usually there's like a few dog matches, but I had so much fun watching that Mania.
Yeah, man, it was cool. I liked the ending. It reminded me of the whole the whole like oh man, when I was a kid and like Bret Hart was fighting Yokozuna, but he beat Owen or Owen
Mm-hmm.
beat him earlier in the night, and then he beat Yokozuna, and then Owen
Right.
was like, "Bro, I beat you. I should be the champ."
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's kind of what they did with Orton.
Was that the one where Hogan came on at the end?
No, that was the one before. That was like
Okay.
that one was in an open stadium too. I remember all the old ones. I just don't.
Well, see, because always like poor, and I never saw any of those pay-per-views ever. Like I never. The only Mania, it's only been in like the last 10 to 12 years that I've ever even seen a WrestleMania.
Oh, really? I'm like
It was
totally the
well
opposite.
because well, and it would we didn't have tons of money, and then on top of that, like my parents were not going to pay for a pay-per-view. That was just not going to happen.
See, my dad was a bigger
Um,
wrestling fan than I was when I was a kid, right? He would
Really?
oh yeah.
Wow.
So when I was at his house, then
Oh,
I
and
did see
one
him.
of our chat folks was at WrestleMania.
Crazy. Where was he sitting? Do you,
I don't know if it's a he or she. I think
Oh.
it's might be. I can't remember. But she was saying he or she was saying stage side seating right next to Rusev's tank. The thing kicked up so much smog.
crazy.
Yeah, WrestleMania is on my bucket list. I really think this year I'm going to make the run to Dallas. I really think so. They're going to need lots of people to fill that stadium, and they're going to bring it with a hell of a card because they're going to have to. So you saw, I showed you pictures of that stadium. It's 95,000 easy, and they're going to need to. I don't know where I'm going to stay. We'll have to start seeing if there's any pro wrestling ex faithful that can hook a brother up with the place to crash. But God, I just think that would be so much fun, and all the indie stuff that goes on during that weekend, and I just think that would be really, really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I've never been to one. I haven't really been to any like live events. Whoa.
I've been to a bunch of Raws. I don't think I ever did a pay-per-view. I did a WCW pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I had a buddy of mine who lived in Detroit, and he had some kind of connections, and he was able to get there's a joint outside of Detroit called the Palace in Auburn Hills that was one of the first like really really fancy arenas that started doing suites and all that stuff, and he was able to get some suite tickets, not like suite but like a suite where you sit down and you've got your own television, your own bathroom, and all this stuff, and it was for like a battle bowl or something like that. It was towards the end of WCW, but it was still fun just partying it up in the suites.
Was it Battle Dome?
And it was no, I think it was Battle Bowl or something like that. I think they had like two rings or.
One of those. I thought you meant like the.
It wasn't like War Games.
Was there a cage?
No, because I remember Kevin Nash did something at that pay-per-view. I don't remember exactly what it was. Like I said, the biggest thing that I remember is just hanging out in the suite, how cool it was.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because you really couldn't see squat from the... But they had TVs and all that stuff, so you could still see. But this is like WCW's dying days.
Because it's like free drinks.
Pretty much. Not quite free drinks, and I'm not a big party guy, but it was just like I ate way too much. And it might have been World War III. Fawful. I might.
Yeah, probably.
We got people chiming in the chat, helping us out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what's the name of that? Because it was like a Royal Rumble, but with like, I think there was like.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was like a battle royal.
It's like just thousands of like entrants.
Hey, that's the one thing I wish they'd put. If the Royal Rumble had 100 people, I would still watch it. I love watching battle royals and all that stuff, and so I would totally watch that. Yes, 60 men in 3 rings. See, these guys have better memories than I do. I was even there, and I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing anything. I still can't remember anything. God, I'm just old.
Yeah, what were you doing, man?
Something like that. What's that?
What were you doing?
Dude, I don't know. It was a long time ago. I mean, that was probably 20 years ago. Something like that. Maybe not that long. But no, but I've been to a bunch of Raws. A bunch of SmackDowns. I had one where I got our Pro Wrestling X shirt on TV a bunch of times, and it was awesome. I had one where I got nearly kicked out, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
But it was fun times. But the live events, the house shows are so much more fun actually than the televised ones. Because the house shows, they just like, dude, that was pimp right there. With that new texture.
Yeah, I know, right? It's all
or material or whatever that's called. Yeah. But the house shows are so much fun because they're like the wrestlers are like, I don't want to call it that they're off, but they just screw around a lot more and they're ribbing on each other and all that stuff. Whereas TV, everything's got to be pretty polished and pretty serious. The house shows are always a lot more laid back. The best shows. So I just went and saw a Ring of Honor show. Few months back, and I gotta tell you, anybody who's in the chat, go see Ring of Honor if they come into town. Holy crap, was that ever a lot of fun? Sounds like Big Man's coming in here pretty soon. He said he was coming home. We'll be able to find out if he has any legs or not at this point.
You joke, but that could be.
You're probably right. I probably shouldn't
yeah,
say
that could
something
be
like
possible.
He's gonna come back and he's like, and then I'm gonna, end up feeling like I got to go to hell because he's like, well, gang, they had to amputate, and then I'm just gonna like, oh hell.
And he still made it to Twitch.
That's right. Well, he's twitching all right. Yeah, if anybody, no, because he didn't post the photo to the Pro Wrestling X site. He posted it to his personal. Yeah, he posted a picture of his knee, and the thing don't look human.
Oh yeah,
it's all janky. Dude, is he going to get the the boot laces?
Yeah, I can't decide whether I want to. Because what I could do is like, either I could make these little
Because you don't
boots.
want them to be like galoshes.
What's that? What's a galosh?
You don't want them to be like galoshes or moon boots.
Oh no 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 no. Yeah yeah
You know,
yeah.
they're kind of like the rain boots. You know, where you just put because they kind of look like they're slick right now.
Yeah. No, what I'm thinking is, um, I was gonna. Okay, well, I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I was gonna say, you could either, because he's got these like pad things on his boots, like over top of his boots, right? So it's very likely that what I'm making here could get covered up, but
Oh, right.
it might be useful to have
Yeah, because
small
did he have
boots
shin
on their
guards or
own.
like kick pads or something?
Yes, yeah, I'm looking at an old photo here for reference
Okay,
on my
that's
other
what I thought.
screen, so yeah. But I think I'm just gonna finish these off.
Now, can you like if you said like let's say for
Actually, there's
example
probably a
you
smarter
liked
way to
those
do
boots
this.
and you wanted to put them on another character, can you export certain like export the boots to go to another put them on another wrestler, or is it like you kind of have to do each one individually?
Well, okay, so for like Tyrador and Grasshopper, they can share everything really easily. But for characters
Right.
that are gonna have this larger body type, which I think I might still even jack him up a little bit further. But I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to make like small, medium, and large versions of things for the like
Mm-hmm.
eventual creator wrestler stuff. Just because of the
So
way.
you can't really scale some of those items like that?
Some may scale. Like we may find that yeah, like just scaling it up by a uniform number works. But yeah, I don't know. It's
Well, because you're right, you don't want them to look stretched. Yeah.
yeah, I don't want him to look stretched. So I don't
Well,
know.
because a
There could
larger
be a.
wrestler's boots would just be larger.
Hmm. Yeah, and mostly in because the dudes are just getting like scaled up for height. So, but the ankles will
Mm-hmm.
be slightly thicker and stuff. So yeah, I'll probably have to make different sizes, and I mean it's not a big deal to do it. I just got to duplicate them, and then shrink them down. It's just it would
Right.
be kind of busy work, I guess, that you'd have to do once you introduce a body type that changes those proportions. But I don't know. It depends how many body types you want to have
Well,
because,
this is why we have to figure all this stuff out.
for instance, like we could to save ourselves some headache, we could have like the small, medium, and large dudes, and then you can sculpt on top of that with as long as you don't change the outline, like the general shape of everything. You can sculpt like how flabby or muscular he is, and the same clothes should fit that body shape
Mm-hmm.
at various levels of muscularity. So you're getting a little more depth that way. So if we make, you know, a guy who's like sort of this maybe this big, and then we make sort of like a couple obese. You have
Mm-hmm.
5 tiers like a hierarchy, right?
Mesomorph,
Yeah,
or whatever the term is.
sure, yeah, whatever you want to say, yeah. I think I'm gonna,
Well, because Meso's the big giant, and then the Ecto's the super skinny.
yeah, yeah. Basically, you have to kind of, um, yeah, scale all of the parts for so that they'll work with each dude. Which they didn't have to do in the No Mercy days because everything is just mapped on, right? So, but
Right.
but because we wanted we wanted to be more than just mapped on. Like some of this will be mapped on, like the the tight stuff. This will be mapped on, but the knee
Mm-hmm.
pads and boots, I want them to have a little bit. I want them to stick out a little bit. So, and the mask, obviously, the arm
So
wristband
those are
things.
essentially models that are kind of glued on that base human, right?
Yeah, they're going to be worn literally. So they'll be.
Right.
Those will have to be scaled if we to maintain customization. But
Hmm.
That's okay. It's cool, you know. I don't mind doing it.
Well, it'll make for a higher quality product at the end of the game. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
it's
the thing
worth.
is that's
Yeah, it's not a big
there's a lot of
job.
things that
It's
we could cheat on. We could just paint the knee pad. Yeah, we could just paint the knee pads right on there. We could do all kinds of things, but ultimately, if you're gonna want the best of the stuff, you got to take the little time to get the details right.
hmm yeah, and I may be able to automate it. You never know. Uh, there's lots of tools for that kind of thing. Anyway,
I was gonna say, that's how that stuff works. With a lot of that stuff, I would think.
sure, yeah. You can if you can automate anything, then go for it. Hey.
Well, that's when we're a small team, you got to do what you got to do,
hmm
quickly and easily, and so, you know.
Yeah, the tools are getting better and better. Which
So what are you working in right now? What's this program called?
it's called ZBrush, or
ZBrush. Okay.
yeah, and it's
Yeah, for anybody who's not familiar with this stuff.
yeah. So the idea here is you make the character just as good as you can. Polygon limits are not a thing. You can use millions if you want. I think there is kind of a limit. I mean, um,
Oh, geez, look at that.
but it's
Yeah.
very like right now this kind of tells you your points count, which is like if you roughly multiply that by, oh, here's poly count of just these boots, as simple as they are, they're like 304,000 polygons, which is like
Mm-hmm.
a lot because the characters that go in game, they're like 10,000. So it's like that's the optimized with all their gear on and
Yep.
stuff.
So how does that work? How do you take it from ZBrush? Are you running it through other programs to get the poly counts down, or is that
Yeah.
part of the export process? Like, how's that work?
So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I'll make this guy like really high poly and just as good as I can, given the time, and then what I'll sort of draw a mesh on top of him that is of the resolution that I want for the in game, that I think will hold up in game and not look broken and too low poly, you know. But and then there's just other software, middle software that transfers the details onto the low poly models. So there's a lot of trickery going on there to sort of like give the look of all these polygons when really you know you're using a small fraction.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially when the character's moving and all that stuff, there's a lot of things like that. You're creating the illusion, and your mind figures all that stuff out and does all the blending and everything, right?
Uh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, there's a bit of like the gap between like you remember back in the day you'd play a game like Final Fantasy or something, and you'd see the cutscene and the guy is like looks so cool, it's like this like beautifully rendered cutscene, and then you go back in game and it's like the low poly like approximation, but you kind of your mind is filling in the blanks and
Yeah.
you know what he's supposed to look like, and it's still really cool, but that gap is getting narrower and narrower now, and the tricks are getting better and better, obviously. And like look a game like Grand Theft Auto, which is like it's like totally cinematic, and you can hardly even tell.
I've never played Grand Theft Auto.
No?
Never had a chance. I never had a reason to. No, I mean, I never. Like I said, the last console I bought was the Nintendo 64, and then anything else would just be like picking up, some of these other, when I'm over at somebody's house playing some of these newer gen games and all that stuff. So
Oh, crazy, man. That's good. It's fun. I don't know. Probably a good thing you haven't played it because it's a time waster. You play Minecraft or something, right?
yeah. No, I do not play. I got sucked into. I got sucked into a game called. Well, I said I've had a few of them over the course. I got sucked into. I used to play a lot of the first person shooters. I would play. I always liked the Battlefield series. I thought that was phenomenal, and like Battlefield 3 was like the one where I really played a lot. Medal of Honor, I was big into that. I was actually in a clan for that for a while. Team Fortress 2 was my favorite. I love that game very much. And now, so I never got into any of these other ones that came out. Minecraft just doesn't. I know better than to go. Some of these games are just way too addictive, and I cannot afford. Um, I can't afford to have games that are like the kind where you just look down and 4.5 hours have gone by. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I like the smaller ones. I'm playing one now called Binding of Isaac. Nobody ever play that game if you don't ever want to like lose your life because that one will suck you in, and it's just an awesome, awesome game. But my God, I can't. I had to go cold turkey there for a while because I couldn't stop playing it.
I haven't played that one yet. I'll get around to it one of these days.
It's a really good game. It's a really good game.
Yeah, Battlefield 3 was the first game I ever worked on. I like the Battlefield games, man. I'm really excited for the Star Wars.
You worked on that one?
Yeah. I worked on in the cinematics sort of end of things.
Get out of here.
Yeah. I got a copy of it I haven't opened and I don't think I ever will. Just keep it keep it in the
Really?
plastic. Cuz some of it was done in Sweden and then other parts of it were done here in Vancouver, so which is kind of how EA works. It's just everything is done like all over the place.
Yeah, Inca Rabbit. Inca Rabbit jumped in here and said they have a sequel to Binding of Isaac out. Yeah, really. Not that I waited up till midnight to like download the original, download the game, and then took the next 2 days off of work to play it. I certainly didn't know anything about that. Good Lord, that thing got me good.
Yeah, anyways. I wanted to make these rivets because I don't know. There's a chance they might be seen, but I don't think they will. But I don't know. It's just didn't take too long.
Wow, look at those things.
Yeah, they're like kind of a little accent.
Oh God, chat's lighting up about Binding of Isaac. People have
Nice.
played it, and they're like, "Yep, I know."
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, Fawful's teasing me that like because there's even an expansion coming out for the game that the game that I'm currently playing now. It's like, oh, son of a gun, I don't want to keep playing this game. Yeah, I was kind of telling you that that the game that Isaac game is very like it's a hard game, and even when you're just like playing it as normal, you're still probably only going to beat it one out of every one out of every 3 times you're actually going to beat the game. And I'm down to the final achievements where you have to go through the entire game and not take a single hit point of damage.
Crazy.
And it's bad shit. It's just complete bad shit. I pardon my language, but it is insane.
So there's a strong possibility that my PC will crash right now. In fact, I should save. With this tool, it's
Yeah,
just very
save your
buggy.
work.
It's like super buggy, this tool. So you
Let
try.
me. I can bring the big man in here. It sounds like he's online.
Okay, perfect.
Add to group call.
Hello. You there, Eric? Still?
Is he there? Is he there? I'm still here. I'm still here.
Hello.
There he is.
Hey guys, how the hell are you?
Hey, man.
Are you on your phone?
Nope. I swung home here for about 20 minutes so I could hop on the computer. If I would have tried calling in from my phone, I could almost guarantee the Wi-Fi would drop in 10 seconds flat.
All right.
Cool,
I will
man.
turn my video off because it looks like that's kind of bogging down. Hang on here. Okay, no more of that.
Aw.
That's fine. Nobody needs to see me.
I beg to differ.
So I guess I'm gonna get rid of that text because I got your name on the corner. So Dave is the guy with the I was gonna say the bald guy, the guy with the beard, the guy with the glasses.
Sure.
Dave's the guy with the black
I'm just trying
shirt.
to find a link here. Yeah. So what kind of excitement have I missed this evening?
Oh God, you're missing nothing, but it's all good. We've been talking about some of the best and worst games of all time. We've been watching Alex do his thing on Grimhold. Dude, are you? Chat's chiming in that they're here to see my face. So yeah, not so much. But sorry, I'm catching up on chat here. Yeah, so it's yeah, we're basically just kind of chilling out and hanging out, and we've been talking worst games. Now, what is the scoop with your leg? What is going on?
Oh, well, it's kind of gross if you want to hear about it. But
I'm
apparently,
sure chat is all about hearing the gory details. Of,
I wish I could post, video or a picture to Twitch.
no,
but,
I need to keep my lunch, my dinner down, but
It's grown to literally the size of a tennis ball. I had this bad arthritis in my knee, and I've had ligaments replaced and all this kind of fun stuff. But about 4 months ago or so, I herniated all the cartilage in my joint, squeezed out the side of my leg, and
dude.
kind of lied there in a lump underneath my skin. And at the time, it was small, like the size of a marble, right? But this is where it gets really disgusting. Is my leg has revolted against this thing that should not be there, and has steadily been building this fucking almost protective cyst around the entire thing.
Graft versus host.
Yeah. So when you saw that picture I posted earlier, that is one big effing cyst.
Is it really? I thought your wife was just joking.
No, but the thing is, it's they MRI'd it not too long ago because they were just going to lance it. I thought, wow, that should be really disgusting. They were going to lance it, but they said it's actually built itself bit by bit in a compartmentalized kind of way. So they're like, it's not just one big thing that we can pop. They're like, it's actually dozens of little tiny protective cysts all around it, and a lot of them have hardened to make
Dave, are you
matters
growing a
even
third
worse.
leg?
Damn near. My daughter calls it, my twin knee.
I was just
But,
going to ask if this is like, does it look like? I just have like these visions like it's a conjoined twin.
It almost should be, man. So I've been worried about because I'm supposed to get my knee joint replaced, right? But with this stupid cyst thing, I've been worried about how they can even do that. But my doctors assured me that when they do the knee replacement, they can just carve it out while they've got me open, right? It's a lot easier to cut out with your knee wide open than it is to just pop like a balloon, from the outside. But
Dave, just chop those things off already.
God,
Just go Professor Pro Wrestling X. Get yourself one of those fancy wheelchairs. Get you one of those little things that you sit on your staircase and they like lift you up the stairs.
Man, I was in so much damn pain the other day. It caused my leg to swell so much. I lost all the feeling in the bottom half of my leg, and I was just so ready to take a Slurpee straw and just stab that mother, man.
God.
But
We need like that to be like creator wrestler is like Dave's cyst on his leg needs to be like part of the part of the creator wrestler.
oh man, yeah, no kidding. Eh? We should name it. Yeah, it should at least be a cop art now. You know,
Dave, I smell a social media contest is name Dave's cyst.
I should have eaten before this.
Sure, and the
show.
winner, the winner gets to keep it when they remove it.
Oh, come on, man. There was a line. There was a line across
Oh
that.
man, oh god, yeah.
Oh,
So
like
I
fish
went,
off. You could call it.
yeah,
You could call it Hunter. You could call it any number of
Nash.
things.
Nash.
Call it Nash. Well, that's I was just saying.
So I
Yeah,
went,
we've successfully grossed chat out.
They haven't seen it though, man. I'm telling you, chat's lucky if they could see this.
Yeah, we need Alex to like ZBrush assist onto Grimhold here.
We'd empty the damn.
Artist rendition.
But
Guys.
so I was in today. I tried to we're trying to here in Canada they give you free knee replacements, but you got to wait your turn, right? So I'm on a waiting list. It's down to about 8 months now. So I just tried to go into the hospital today with this new development and hopefully push me up the list, but doesn't seem like that's going to happen for me. But like I said too earlier this morning, my wife and daughter were in a pretty bad car accident, and they're being looked after right now. So I just snuck away for a bit. So
They're doing all right. I wasn't gonna.
they're actually good, but
just banged up.
Just mostly soft tissue. They just want to keep an eye on them because once the adrenaline wears off is when the pain starts really showing up, right? So they got nailed. They were at a dead stop at an intersection, and a guy came up behind them doing about 40 kilometers an hour, which what is that in miles?
I don't know, but a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fast. That's not just like a little bump.
Yeah, no, yeah. So they got
What happened? Is like his brakes fail, or he just wasn't paying attention that they were stopped, or what?
wasn't paying attention. He just nailed him. He didn't even hit his brakes. He just,
That happened to me. I did, except I was the one doing the hitting. I was attempting to change the channel on my radio station. I looked up, the car ahead of me is completely stopped, sitting at a green light. Not so that I wasn't a total, but I destroyed this this Pontiac Sunbird's trunk. Went from like 3 feet wide down to like nothing because I was driving a boat, one of those not Cadillac, it was a Mercury Grand Marquis.
man.
They just crushed the shit out of this thing.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. So that's what we've been dealing with today. I've never really gotten into a bad accident, so we had to do the whole running around to the police station to report it, and deal with.
Then you got the insurance companies that all like pretend that they care. Oh my God, they have this whole speech that we're so glad that you're okay, and they give you the whole thing, and they don't care. They're just like, all right, how much are we gonna get stuck with?
How do we not pay these? Well, actually, my insurance company's been. I've never made a claim, so they set us up with a free rental car, and took care of that.
How's the car?
It's drivable, but the doors don't shut quite right anymore. So I'm thinking that frame is bent, man.
I was gonna say you might have a totaled car on your hands.
I could have a totaled car, and it's an older car too. I think a 2003 Pontiac Vibe, so I think it might only be worth about.
You're driving a Vibe?
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
I'm a family man. I need the hatchback for all the hockey equipment.
We got people jumping in. We've heard the best one so far is Sisto Inferno.
Oh man,
that's legitimately funny. We've got another one. Inca Rabbit is saying that if whatever wrestler has the cyst has to have all his moves involve the legs, like leg kicks, leg hold, leg grapples, all that stuff.
Instead of first blood, it could be a pop the cyst match,
Oh, come on, man.
Again.
Man, I'm tapping out.
Hey, if we're going to have particle effects, what better way to implement them, man?
I mean, there was like Viagra on a pole match, and now you've got a pop the cyst match.
It's never been done.
Oh my God! Well, Dave, I think it smells like an Easter egg.
It looks like an egg too, so it's all good.
Oh,
well, that's been my excitement for today, man. Sorry, I've been kind of just offline a little bit dealing with all that.
No,
crap.
that's
So,
life, man. Oh, we have assist on a poll. We have their chats chiming in here. They're doing good.
oh man, that's
Top
too.
assist match. I'm actually writing that down. That's going to have to be some kind of an Easter egg.
Oh god, I swear it's grown today, man. Brutal.
I've never had anything like that. I mean, thank God.
Yeah. I'm not.
Once
they get fixed up-
we're using the term green cyst instead of green mist. I like that. I like that.
Ugh.
This is awful.
Tables, ladders, and cysts.
Ugh.
Oh God.
You guys are killing it tonight, chat. You guys are off. Oh,
Cyst
Stratus. Keep them coming, chat. We're having one of those days.
Oh, Christ.
Yep.
That's screwing me up, man.
Cis Stratus. I like Sisto Inferno, but Cis Stratus.
I'm gonna have to get my wife to do some, Sharpie marker work on it and make some of these things.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is. Yep. Cis Stratus. I think it might be your winner.
You think if we actually tagged her on Instagram, she'd reply if we sent her a picture of that?
Yeah, that's probably the world's worst hashtag.
No doubting.
Oh,
God.
God.
Hey, so
Oh my God, Sister Abigail.
Ah!
Finish.
That's the best one.
Oh God.
Too funny.
Good
Man. How's the Twitch broadcast been going technically? Are we got everything running smoothly now?
Got off to a little sluggish start, but it wasn't bad. Alex had a little it was chugging right along, but we've been pretty stable here the last few. We were nervous. I guess somebody was telling me that Grand Theft Auto 5 is out today, and
Yeah.
so there may be a billion streams going on Twitch previewing that. And
Yeah.
right now we've been stable for the last hour. Pretty solid.
I couldn't even launch Steam earlier today. I think they're rocking on GTA 5.
Well, and I don't know if you caught this. I was talking about this earlier that the install is, I think, 82 gig. GTA?
God. And it's so many issues too. I've heard that like Nvidia actually sent their own driver with the game, and there's already a lot of the big sites already have big lists of known issues and problems and how to fix them, which is all good. But I mean, to me, that just goes to show, man, developing for PC when even a big company like Rockstar with more resources than anyone on the planet, when even they can't have a smooth, relatively issue-free launch of a flagship title, God.
It's just that's just an insane amount of data.
I know.
Oh God, chats to continue. It's gone a little downhill, but we still have like a Sister Sherry. That's pretty funny. I just the sheer image alone. I'm gonna have to tweet some of these out and just keep it really. Hey, we should welcome Mr. Dave Horn.
Dave Horn.
For those
Without a
who don't
doubt.
know, that is Action Arcade Wrestling. Go check out Dave
Love that
Horn's
guy.
baby. Yeah,
I love that guy. Dave is a perfect example of if you pay attention to the history of Pro Wrestling X and completely avoid every mistake we've ever made and don't make any of our mistakes, you get Dave Horn and Action Arcade Wrestling.
That's right. We were one of the five families of the pro wrestling indie game universe between us.
He gets it
and-
right, man. He gets it right. I don't care if I go off on a bromance here on Dave Horn and Action Arcade, man. The guy is smart and he's patient and he's running his own race, man. And whatever he decides to do, man, he's gonna knock it out of the park.
Well, so we're all, and that's the thing is we're all it's all about wrestling game in the indies. It's kind of like, yeah, we're all technically competitors, but we all pull for each other and we all back each other's stuff and pimp each other's projects, and because it's all about getting the love for that wrestling indie love,
Well, it's funny. I mean, honestly, when you're doing this kind of thing, there's no roadmap for making a wrestling game. You know, there's no, you can't go take a class or read a book on how to make a wrestling video game. So when there's a couple of different guys doing it, man, you lean on each other. You know, I can't count the amount of hours I've spent talking to all the different guys and completely uncensored and hold nothing back, try to help each other, you know, with our dumbest mistakes, tips on, like, you know, which websites are friendly to wrestling games and stuff like that, you know, helping each other out that way. So I wish we could all get together, man. You know, when I saw the footage and the pictures of Daniel from Five Star when he went to WrestleCon and that, man, I wish we could all get together, rent a big ass freaking ballroom and have all our games rocking, you know? That would just
Someday,
be the best.
man. Someday.
Yeah. And Matt Dickey would have to be there though. I don't think you could get the
Well,
get
see,
the-
that's just it. You got the five families. You got Matt Dickey. You got Dave Horn. You got the Five Star guys. You got us. You know who? I mean, we always, like I said, it's like the gangster movies. You know, we're all technical competitors, but we're all, you know, we're all there. You know.
Well, you know, we've at least been the ones who've Sis Benoit. Oh, that's bad.
No, the one that got me was Christopher Daniels. That one got me.
Oh,
that one popped
that's
me.
my new
I'm sitting there,
favorite.
like trying to hold it together.
That's my new favorite.
That's
Oh man.
Sister
Oh, man. What was I?
Daniels.
What the hell was I saying? I forget what I was saying. But anyway, about all the indie wrestling guys. Yeah, it's funny when you'll see the haters and trolls in the forums, you know, trying to take sides or pit us against each other. And it's like, dude, you have no idea how useless it is to try to get us to to fight. It's like no group of guys could understand and empathize with each other more than the indie wrestling game developers. It's a pretty small support group to get into, you know.
Yep. So it's and these guys have all been around. And what's wonderful about Horn and Matt Dickey is, for the most part, they're one man crews, and just the ability to put out a game by yourself, handle all art, design, programming, marketing, all that stuff. I mean, that is tremendous. That's
Yeah,
tremendous.
I know, right? Like, God, and what's funny too is, you know, we're all making a wrestling game, yeah, but you know, if we all actually get to the point where our actual dream design goals are actually met and we get it to make and ship our idea of the wrestling game we want to make, they're all such vastly different games that even if they were all on the same platform, even if we were all on PC or all on Xbox, we would have like 4 or 5 of the most unique and cool wrestling games. It would be Wrestling Gamer Nirvana, man. You'd want to buy them all. It'd be like back in the old days when you had SmackDown and No Mercy and Fire Pro and all those different games, you know?
Well, so they all got a different take. They all got a different, you know, it's a different strategy looking stuff. And yeah, so I said we'll you know, we're all in this together. And so yeah, we've go check out Action Arcade Wrestling. And one of these we'll have to you know, if this I think this Twitch thing could definitely become a thing. But you know, if there's people that are sick of listening to us talk, we could even maybe drag a Matt Dickey or a Dave Horn on the Skype and do a little podcast interview type of thing, you know.
Hey Horn, you'd hop online and talk with us, right? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you, buddy? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, he'll pop in here. We'll get him in here because he said he gave good pop to all of us getting together. Like I said, I could easily see doing a Mania, you know, doing a, you know, one of those, setting up a booth at one of those indie shows or something, and just have the ultimate. God, can you imagine the ultimate wrestling game merch booth? That'd be intense.
Oh man, that'd be the best. Got to find a way to make it happen. Well, first we got to actually make a game and finish it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have to get them grappling.
Well, Mike, you know, talking with Mike, our intrepid programmer, Gakito, man, he's rewriting that grapple code so it does everything beautifully and properly. We're not building on a shaky foundation, but I'd sure like to see it come along faster than it is, man. I feel for everybody that's waiting for us to get it together, man. But until we've got that, you know, $1 million budget, we're doing it in our spare time as fast as we can get her done, man. He hasn't been around tonight, has he, on Twitch?
Nope, I've been looking for him, but I haven't seen him yet. He was on there up here last week, but I don't see him this one around.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to actually say. I don't think we should anyway. But his day job right now, pretty much, his day job is pretty much building and launching one of the biggest new game studios in Vancouver. So he's kind of swamped. But
Hey, Dave, I was supposed to ask you: have you ever heard of the game? What was it WWF Betrayal for the Game Boy? We were talking about the Game Boy, or like the worst wrestling games of all time. And I have to admit, I have never heard of Betrayal. I don't think I've ever
Betcha.
played that one.
Really? Well, I might have to do you a favor. I saw it in my local pawn shop a couple weeks ago for $3, man. The actual cart.
Well, I'd have to have a Game Boy, but I could find an emulator. I had one, dude. The Tetris music has been burned into my soul from too many hours on the Game Boy. But
Betrayal looks pretty bad. I'll give you that.
he
I
was
haven't-
saying he was describing it. It was a side-scrolling beat 'em up where you have to rescue Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, it's like Streets of Rage or something. But
Oh
like,
my god!
Yeah, you referee. Yeah,
Well, because we had lots of votes for the usual backstage assault and all those, and I wasn't sure which one was your least favorite of all time.
my least favorite. Well, it's hard, because I mean, I love even the bad games for their own. I mean, I still put in Backstage Assault every once in a while and appreciate it for what it does. I can't play it for any great length of time, but man, least favorite game. I don't know if there's so much least favorite. There's just least impressionable or most boring or least important games. I mean, there's so many Smackdowns in that series that just kind of came and went.
All right, Dave, I need your opinion on this one. What
Sure.
was your opinion of the original WrestleMania for the Nintendo Entertainment System?
I remember liking it when I first played it, but that was when I was starving.
This was like with the glowing red Andre that would get really,
Yeah.
really upset.
Yeah.
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 And
It
the
didn't
power
last
ups that was like a foot and like
That was back when I was in. Yeah, I didn't own a Nintendo back then. I actually had to go and rent one on my paydays from Pizza Hut, and yeah, I think I had that game for a total of 3 days, and that's all I ever played it.
well, because
But-
I kind of recounted the story that was like my first great video game disappointment. Like that I was so hyped for that game, and I didn't see any screenshots, and we're just like, oh my god, it's the WWF game. This is gonna be awesome. I pulled it in, and it was like, seriously, there was 6 dudes, and they just start like glowing, and there was like feet power ups, and I was like, what in the world,
Yeah, can you imagine? I remember, back in the day when a brand name meant something, you would think that, oh, it's WWF game, it must be good. I remember getting, when I, after my Nintendo rentals, there was a period where I could actually afford to buy a Sega Genesis, So I got my Sega Genesis and my Sonic the Hedgehog, and I remember walking into Blockbuster Video that first time I was going to rent a game for Sega, and I remember standing in the Sega aisle thinking to myself, wow, how lucky am I knowing that as long as it's on the Genesis, it's guaranteed to be a good game. Oh, what a
Well, and the
disappointment.
Genesis was always like, because the Genesis came out when I was in college, and that was what like the college kids played. The
Same.
college kids didn't play Nintendo; they played Genesis, and it was Madden,
Yeah.
a football game.
Oh yeah. Yep, I remember
And so
that.
nobody played Nintendo, at least in my college, at least in my dorm.
But most disappointing, I think, would have to be, man, epic disappointment. My brother actually got me into wrestling games, and I would come home to visit from college, and he had a Nintendo 64 then at this point, and he got me into playing Revenge. Yeah, and oh my God, we'd love it, and we'd do the battle royale all the time.
Oh,
the
Revenge was
random
an
battle royale.
unbelievably underrated game. I loved that roster.
Oh, it was amazing, right? Well, of course, World Tour, and then we got into Revenge.
I liked Revenge a lot more than I liked New World Tour. I mean,
Yeah,
the World Tour
I mean-
was nice. But you had like the Revenge had like Raven's Flock and all those
Yeah,
guys, and that was great.
Loved it, right? So my biggest disappointment was when we went into the video store, one trip back from college, and looking to rent see if there's any new wrestling games, and we saw one. It was like, oh, THQ. Well, if it's THQ, it has to be an excellent game. We've learned one thing: THQ makes great wrestling games. We brought it home and fired up a battle royale, and that was.
Which one was that? Which game?
That was WCW Nitro.
Nitro.
Easily
Yeah, it was-
the biggest disappointment.
That's the
we've
one I
ever
was
had.
telling you about. That was on my list of
God.
shitters.
They ported it to PC.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I don't
There
know
was
if I ever
legit-
played that one.
They legit ported it to PC too. Yeah, I remember. But oh,
I don't
man.
know if I ever played that one or not.
Eric, it was so terrible. Don't play it.
Play it. I'd play it.
It was just bad. Watch some YouTube videos or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to play. Like actually, the control scheme and mechanics are so bad. It's almost.
Well, we had talked about that a long time. Like it would be really fun to do like a wrestling game, video game, like video game marathon. You know, just playing all the worst of the worst. If I had a better connection, I would totally do it. You know, like
Yeah, we were
they raise
talking-
money for charity and all that stuff. It'd be fun tracking down some of those old games.
Yeah, because we were talking, like I'd like to boot up the latest, update that we've got of Pro Wrestling X and show people where we're at. But apparently my upload freaking speed is so slow I can't even do it to Twitch, right? So
Yeah,
that
you need a
sucks.
pretty, and it doesn't have to be excessive. And like I said, I might be able to get in there and tweak some settings or figure out some frame rates, or something that might make it more palatable for us to do something. But
Yeah, because my number one, reason for starting these live broadcasts was like to show people what we're actually working on, But to find out that, my beautiful, high-priced, high-tech web connection can't even do that is kind of disappointing. But I'll call the cable
did
company.
we ever figure out what your numbers were for that speed test? Did you ever
Yeah,
send those
they
to
were-
me?
They were the same as yours.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Because mine's pretty bad. I mean, I got the standard standard DSL, just the base stuff, and it works okay. And I mean, I can stream Netflix, I can do all that kind of stuff. So I think it's just you just can't upload.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
So
It's just
I might have to, like I said, I might have to see if I can find myself a place with a good steady internet connection or someplace that I can, like a little office or something I can rent out or something, or figure out something. I keep waiting for Google Fiber to roll out nationwide, and because I think that's going to be the future for all that stuff. These cable companies around here are just the worst. So,
yeah, in Canada they're getting pretty bad too, man. They're monopolizing and getting pretty snarky with what they do. They just started charging for one of the mobile phone companies just started charging for if you go over your bandwidth limit using your home Wi-Fi. How is that even possible?
wait a minute, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah. If you're using their mobile TV service, they give you 5 hours of mobile TV in your package. But they're like, if you go over, and even if you're using their service via Wi-Fi, they're charging extra per gig.
Oh, brother.
I don't even know how that's not even their service at that point. It's your cable company, right?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, you're not pulling any mold.
Well, I think what they're basically charging you for is their content, right? It's like, this is our mobile TV content in a way we're licensing to you. So if you access it, whether it's your data plan or over Wi-Fi, we have the right to charge you for it now.
Oh my God. Yeah. Everybody in the chat is like, what the hell is that? Yeah. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I said that's why I'm hoping.
We do
Obama
have
signed all that stuff for the FCC that was like the net neutrality rules and stuff.
Yeah, well, we kind of got that sort of running up here. The government stepped in and they announced a new law that will force cable companies to allow customers to build their own packages a la carte now. You don't have to, get 10 or 20 sports channels if you just want the one that carries Raw, which is what I have to do right now. Like right now, if I want to watch Raw, I have to subscribe to 10 different freaking sports channels just to get the one that broadcasts Raw.
Yep.
So
well, and it's even if you're on that, like the network, they don't archive the current Raw. They have to go to Hulu for that.
What? Really? Oh my God.
Yeah, because you can't. At least I think that's the case, because I tried to watch a SmackDown the other day. And they had only posted like SmackDowns that were like 6 months old. And because I think they have a deal with Hulu, where the most recent episodes of that stuff is up on Hulu, and I don't think their network is allowed to carry it. I don't think.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
But I said I end up watching on the WWE stuff. Like my money is well paid for because I watch those old primetime wrestlings with Keenan and Gorilla. Like those are my favorite. I watch all those.
I swear I spent most of my money on wrestling over the past few years buying the WWE DVDs and that just to watch the old stuff, like the archive matches and that they would put on. I mean, huge fan of Stampede Wrestling and a lot of the WWE DVDs, like the ladder matches and whatnot, and they would have old Stampede stuff that I can't get anywhere else would be on the DVDs. So I'm with you, man. I like watching the older stuff more than anything else. And they launched the WWE Network up here in Canada, but it's $13.99. Damn it! I don't
Yeah.
know, it's worth
Well, you guys
13.
get less content, don't you?
We do. I haven't looked into it to any great detail because when they first offered it, months ago, it was abysmal. It was basically just a regular TV channel. There was no net content at all.
Right. There's nothing on demand, right?
Nothing on demand. Yeah, you would just get whatever channel they decide to feed you. So, still worth it though because you get the pay-per-views, right? So I guess it's worth it for that.
I said the last pay-per-view was wonderful. The WrestleMania I thought was amazing. So I can't complain.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll end up picking it up, I'm sure, man. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how she goes. So I better be a good daddy and a good husband here and go check on the wounded. I'll be back up and running hopefully tomorrow, man, and be around here writing up a nice sexy newsletter and whatnot. Get a hold of our programmer, see where we're at, and get a hold of my cable company, see how I can possibly start broadcasting and showing people some gameplay video. If not, I just might have to do the old school, Dave uploads YouTube video of camcorder over the shoulder playing the game. And
There's other ways to do it too. We can brainstorm some stuff. We have hit the 2-hour mark. Do you guys want to call it a night?
I have to.
I'm pretty
So,
close to done here, so if you want to, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to sign off. Let me thank everyone who showed up, and I wish I could have got here earlier because I think we could have gone on this thing easily for another hour.
Yeah, we had another. And the only other one we had some valiant attempts. The only one that got me got a good pop out of me was Sisty Hemi, which I thought was pretty funny. But I think it's Sister Daniels and Sis Stratus got me good. That one came out of nowhere and like blew me away on that one.
Sister,
I'm gonna have to tweet both of those things and just say, your tweet out of context for tonight is this. And,
yep.
But yes, the standard disclaimer. For those of you who are new, ProWrestlingX.com, at ProWrestlingX on Twitter, Facebook.com/ProWrestlingX. Come hang out, and then we're going to try to do these every Tuesday night. Please subscribe to our Twitch channel. We are already at almost 50 subscribers, which is awesome in a single week.
Thank you.
For only broadcasting the 2 hours on last Tuesday. So
Thank you.
tell your friends. We're on Steam as well for early access. If you would like to buy the game for $10, it helps us, keeps development going, and then the updates are going to keep on coming. So,
And we answer any and all questions too, especially on these Twitch broadcasts. They're a lot of fun, man.
yep, sign up on our website. We've got an email list that goes out every Friday in theory. Unless it doesn't get it to me right away or I get confused. But that tells you Dave has written a newsletter for the past ungodly however many years it's been. Every Friday, just detailing the progress of the project and talking about whatever. So
Where are we at now? 680 something?
683, 684, something like that. So definitely subscribe and stay in touch. And come back and see us. So it's nice seeing some familiar faces even in chat even after last week. And I recognize a lot of the usernames from our hero list.
Nice.
People that have backed us and they're using the same usernames across the Twitch platform. So that's pretty
Hey.
so
Yeah, Sammy G. How's it going, buddy?
yeah, we got Sammy G. We got Moo. I never know how to pronounce his name, but we got a few. I said, but it's been wonderful. I said the chat's been fun. They ask good questions and keep us laughing.
Well, it's a lot of just positive support too. I mean, when you're doing this thing, when you're trying to build a wrestling video game like this at the indie level with all the struggles and challenges it comes with, it's really, really easy to point at the bad stuff, at the hardships, and make fun of stuff and be a hater. So it really means a lot when people come be positive and want to support you and forgive you your mistakes and just help push you forward. So it really is nice to actually have the family of sorts show up to to cheer each other on here every week. So it's awesome. Hope to see more of you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, yep. So, anything else you want to add there, Alex?
No, I think, yeah, I don't know. Been just kind of
All
working.
right. Well, I
here.
didn't want to just like, hey, thanks, and give you your, if you want to say anything.
No, I'm just
it's
gonna
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's just the only one.
continue
He's
this
only
work.
the one hosting the stream, providing us the content of building this awesome character. My God, why would we even let him talk? I mean,
I
right? He probably can't talk with us blabbermouths in here.
know.
Get a word in edgewise.
You guys can
It's
go
all
for
good.
days. I know
It's all
that.
good. Well,
Yeah, it's bad. Sorry, y'all.
yeah, no doubt, eh? God, I wonder if there's anything on Skype that actually tells you how long you've talked to anyone over the past 10 years. I bet Eric and I have logged a couple years in there.
Probably. We're getting some nice wishes. Everybody in the chat's telling you, sending good vibes your way about you and your family with a good recovery from the accident and everything.
Hey, thanks, man. So far, like I say, I think the car got the worst of it. Everyone's just pretty banged up and sore, but no broken bones. It's all good. The guy that hit her, he got the worst of it, man. All the airbags went off completely. I think he totaled his front end. He had a bad day. He had a worse day than we did. So
That's no good. That's no good.
yeah, just a young kid, man. A young kid on his way to work was paying attention. So you know how it is when you're like 20 years old. You get into a car accident, you think it's the end of the world,
Well, I said that happened to me. Let's see, I must have been 22, something like that, when I had my rear-ended somebody, just plowed, and then I had a couple of ones where it was kind of like nobody's fault. Shit just happened, and I kept, thankfully nothing bad. I never was hurt or anything, but can bang the hell out of a car pretty easily. I can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. All right, yeah. Well, we better blast then. Again, thanks to everyone for showing up, man. And we'll probably be here again next Tuesday. And hopefully I will find a way to show you guys some gameplay footage so you can see what we're dealing with.
Cool, gang. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot, guys. I'll chat with crew and you guys tomorrow and whatnot. We'll catch up.
Cool. Alex, you can power them down whenever you need to.